Hello and welcome to the preview show of Rosehill Gardens. Matt Taylor, Mark Lambourne, good morning.
A special midwinter edition.
Yeah, bit cool. It's going to be cold at Parramatta tomorrow morning, 2 degrees or 1 degree overnight.
Wow, you'll be there nice and early.
I'll be there in the 1 degrees, the 2 degrees, because I'd imagine the coolest part of the morning will be about that 7 or 8 o'clock mark or thereabouts.
I really notice that between 5 a.m. and 6 a.m. I just feel the temperature just
so I'll
drop appreciably.
Yeah, the Riverside Cafe, I hope they put the heating on. There is an air conditioner there, people.
Okay.
Flick the
What's more to talk about, Dal, is the radical rail placement tomorrow at Rosehill.
It's a very interesting one, isn't it?
It's not a holiday Wednesday,
no.
Or Friday or a Monday Rosehill.
And so what are we saying? 8 metres for those that haven't taken down the notes. The 6 metre spot at Rosehill normally means fence on fire because it's right in the fast lane. But the edge of the fast lane is 8 metres, so it's right on the precipice. What are we... For the inside fast lane anyway.
There's been a dozen meetings in the last 10 years at that position, and the results are mixed. I mean, prior to the meeting on the 1st of April, I think it was, I was ready to say that it was well and truly down the outside, and that's my forecast for tomorrow. But the 1st of April gutted me with its inside draws and fence playing, so...
Is it possible that absolute hard fence, and I mean almost running on top of the rail, could be okay? Then the immediate left of that's no good. But also we've got to remember too with Rosehill is that the price you pay for being wide as well. It's not like Randwick where you can just sit out wide and you've got a straight run in most of the races. Well, all races 1400 metres, and unless you've got a straight run, you can just sit out wide and then go straight into the lane. If you've sat out wide at Rosehill, normally by the time you get to the bend, you're gone.
Yeah, it's a different kind of track, but we've obviously got 2 longer races, which may not be too affected. And the other races, I'd suggest that that wide draws and off the fence would be preferable.
Because like Randwick, the fast lane at Rosehill, way out wide, is faster than the inside lane. So
you're suggesting that was where Christy Lee was in the last race on Saturday.
Possibly, yep.
Which would have been, surely that's no worse than 13 metres out.
It's probably, yeah.
Let's say she was 10 off the fence.
Yeah, that'd be about right. So that's, yeah. I think about 14 metres off the inside is about where the fast lane at Rosehill starts. Way out wide. So that's only 6 metres off the inside there, and probably the riders will ride off the fence anyway too, because that's just what they do.
Yeah.
So if they're riding off the fence, the field's almost going to naturally swing into it.
Quite possibly. Look, I thought the replicating meeting was that was the 20th of July 2013. Zaratone won on that day, but he won from gate 9. And he obviously led all the way, but he led and controlled. So.
Oh, that was when Brendan rode it absolutely to the letter perfect, wasn't it?
No, this is Kei O'Hara.
Wow, okay, well done.
So this is 2 wins ago.
Mm-hmm.
Saturday the 20th of July 2013, 2 years ago, where wide draws were in ascendancy, but it was okay to lead, provided you controlled from a wide draw.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to go back and have a look at that meeting, that's I'm tipping that the circumstances are closest for that particular meeting.
And what are we saying? We've a little bit of wind about it the last day or so in Sydney, a bit,
So we'll see a track that's in between last Saturday and the meeting before at Rosehill, where people were running around last Saturday going, it's much wetter than last time. And it was, I suppose.
But
it'll be in between the two.
It's about that slow to heavy range. Is that what we're saying?
Yeah, I think for mine, the way a track plays is more important than the track condition itself.
Mm-hmm.
Or lots of track condition explanations can be derived from the way a track plays.
Okay, beautiful. Little pearl on a Friday.
That's right. And you've been busy putting together some pearls of mine, Dal.
Yeah, that's right. Well, when the site changes in the next couple of weeks, there'll be an interesting little scholar section that we're calling, which is you'll be able to see all my spells. Did you like that?
Yeah, I haven't got through them all yet, but
they're pretty good.
Well, it's a good summation. I think a good journalist always helps, doesn't it?
Well, we better find one. Anyway,
Nick's our resident journalist, so we know how good he's going.
Race 1 is the McGrath Estate Agents handicap, and no chance of rain is there either between now and then.
No,
Yep.
no.
$3.80 Surf and Safari, 2 year olds over 1,200 metres, $4.60 Vanbrugh, and let's make it rain, $5.
Look, both the favourites have been supported, so $4.40 into $3.80 Surf and Safari, and $6 into $4.60 Vanbrugh.
Who he elected to not to start at Randwick a fortnight ago. I suppose that was the heavy 10 world was going to end sort of.
Yep. How did we race?
How did we race day?
How do we get through that? Jeez.
So let's make it rain's had a long spell and resumes at 1200, and I imagine is straight on the bridle. Obviously, Surfing Safari will want to be part of the van. Hail the Chief has shown enough pace at his 2 lifetime starts to be on speed, and Precocious shouldn't be too far away from a low draw with the tongue tie on. Unblemished Mark went forward at his only start, but I'd imagine that he either runs at Newcastle or goes back here.
Right.
So look, it's I don't think there's anything serious about the speed here. It's just steady, honest, we'll say. Run Surf and Safari ran some decent figures at Warwick Farm last time. Obviously went back to 1100, which may have helped him, and has, and obviously set himself up at Warwick Farm, which also helped him. But I mean, he's got that winter look about him that says he'll run well again.
Yep.
7 Stalwart gets T Clark, which looks a nice riding engagement. Best Clippo off T Clark. That's marginally better in my opinion. And gee, I'm so divided about that meeting 2 weeks back. The horses in the middle of the track. Whether to be kind to them or whether just to not worry too much about it.
Yeah. The Randwick meeting.
Yes, where it was inside outside
Yep.
and maybe not in the middle.
Not in the middle. Yeah.
Anyway, Stalwart appeared to be in the worst ground over the concluding stages.
Yeah, exactly. And I think with Stalwart, it's definitely, whilst it's obviously still wet, I think the drier the better for him. He's a big, gawky, thing, and definitely not a wet track type. So I thought his performance was quite good and didn't parade great either.
4 Labdien resumes at 1200 after debuting at 1000, which is a little awkward, but I was impressed with her debut. Resumes at home. And number 9, Unblemished Mark, I thought did something on debut from a race that produced more form than the other race on that day, and can be an improver here. 1749, I've left out Vanbrugh, who won on debut at Randwick, but was last man standing on that occasion, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I would imagine that race at the Pago Stakes is going to be the most penalised race for the year from you, isn't it?
Yeah, right.
It's anything that's running that is just going to get a giant cross. Correct?
Yes, correct. 1749, 7 units number 1, 3 units number 7.
Beautiful. You mentioned Nick earlier. He's got a bit of an opinion about Let's Make It Rain. Thought it's come back all well. Thought it might be sort of typical Ronnie Quinton, just that improve with the run, as his horses tend to. But he did say it's a nice horse from Trackbook.
Yeah. Look, I ended up coming back to Vanbrugh. Bit of a wraparound for him, and look, I think it's going to start shorter than the current price, just by the right people sort of talking it up and that sort of thing. And
Go to Shinwalla,
that nice barrier. So look,
as opposed to Shin Cancer.
Yeah, exactly.
And look, I think my theory is with the 2-year-olds, we're going to see at the trials which are the ones that are going to come back to be our good 3-year-olds, and from what I've seen, it's sort of come back at the trials a better horse, and its form.
It's definitely up for grabs, the 3-year-olds, because there's one decent one.
Yeah, there's one decent one, and maybe 2.
Yeah.
I think he's progressing the right way. So I'll be having 5 units on him, and look, I've sort of got a bit of respect for Maternal at the price, and also Stalwart. It's a sort of, we've had great success backing 2-year-olds that are race fit, like the Backstabs of the world, and Stalwart fits into that category. So I'll have one a maternal and one Stalwart.
Beautiful.
Has anyone watched the Ricochet My Reflections on New One? I noticed it popped up on Twitter the other day.
I have.
Why do this to me?
I
I thought I was laughing before. You mind?
Sorry. It's pretty hard to put Dal in a bad mood, isn't it?
I saw
What
someone-
happened? No.
Someone
Why?
tweeted it out.
No.
Yeah.
Is it really no?
Is he at
There is a video, John O'Shea, My Reflections on my first year.
Race 2 is the Tab Place multi-handicap over 1900 metres, $4.80 Raining, $4.80 Lucky Largo, $3.60 George Aeroplane and $6 Sir Maker. It's not that it's happened, it's the people who would have tweeted back saying, oh that was great, that was fantastic, just to suck his cock.
Right.
That would be that's there. So if,
Okay,
if you're one of
not
those,
suggesting that
never
eight-
ever
eight-
watch this show again because you're not welcome.
Sir Mako $8.50 into $6, and that has been the only action.
Sir
Wow.
Maker backed. Yeah, okay. I suppose backup is it or?
Oh, look, Dal, this is like, Keep Cool has to assume the lead
Yeah,
tomorrow. He hasn't been anywhere near it.
No, I know, but it looks like he's.
Jesus, this is just like, I've got Keep Cool in the van.
It's Surpass and George Aeroplane next. Exactly.
There's
how
George
it-
the Aeroplane. Surpass is coming back from a mile and a half.
Yeah, exactly, and there they are.
It's, I half think that Beyond Thankful may be persuaded into a forward running role. He was supposed to go forward the other day and sort of got midfield. There's a few observations to make. Obviously, I did say that George Aeroplane had found his race at the last start. Mm-hmm. So I was sort of keen to be reluctant here, but struggled to be reluctant.
And I suppose when you found his race at 20-1 or thereabouts, when you were tipping him, he's now into 5-2, as we thought would happen after the day too. And yeah,
Samako's obviously on the 7-day backup with the senior rider going on board. All systems go there. But I mean, is he a back marker in a slow race? And Raining clearly comes out of a very different race.
yeah, absolutely.
That was a brutal race 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, absolutely.
3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
3 weeks ago. It was a brutal race.
Yep.
And this is a fundamentally
Well,
different.
him settling last, he himself has gone 8 lengths above average, settling last. That's how fast they've gone.
Yeah, so it's not unreasonable to think that Beyond Thankful will get forward here. Yes, as I mentioned, I was reluctant about George Aeroplane, but he's set to be in the finish. 7 George Aeroplane, 8 Sumako, 4 Raining, 3 Beyond Thankful. Taken the sword to Lucky
Yeah, I was going to
Largo.
ask you, is that because of just ignoring the Queensland stuff, or is it...
What is the Queensland stuff?
Well,
What is it?
Strawberry
What is it?
Boy?
know.
They were real races, they were run...
Yeah, but she's a bludger. She's a bludger.
Yeah, absolutely, she is, yeah. She's going to benefit from a real race, isn't she? Just to flop home. Yeah, it's a fair call.
Look, I took the sword to Lucky.
I got
Largo.
to say, look, I watched the last race, I think, with Aaron at the races. I just said, she's a myth.
Yeah.
I remember saying, but then I looked at the form. I thought, it's probably.
That's the age-old thing, isn't it, Dal? Like, you look at your first impressions are fucking golden.
Yeah.
And you can never hang on to
No,
them.
that's right. I just said, she Lucky Largo, myth, and you're looking at it. Oh, she's done okay.
Yeah.
She's running.
Finally
against,
gets up to a staying trip.
Yeah,
Back in class.
but is
all that
1900
stuff.
metres for her though?
Well, I thought it was like when I first saw her on the scene. I was always looking for longer, which makes you as much betwixt and between about it all.
Look, and the other thing is, C. Reith has been out of play lately.
He just did.
Gone missing. Gone missing.
He might be on a
It might be a mixed boundary or somewhere.
I wanted to find Keep Cool here, but I couldn't get close enough. 7, 8, 4, 3. I'm having 4 units Georgie, 3 units Sumako, 2 units Raining, 1.5 units Beyond Thankful.
Beautiful. All right, leave me out. Too many pushes and pulls.
Matt, you're in.
The only sort of something that I could sort of find was I didn't mind the way Keep Cool kept coming in the Mirage race.
Yeah, it's a bit different, isn't it?
And look, I don't know, there's an opportunity for a horse to go forward here and take the reins. I don't know who's going to do it, but at the price, I'm just going to have one unit on Keep Cool because it's a bit different, and it also gets up to a staying trip. He's a budger as well, but at the price.
And the most likely firmer here.
Yeah, most likely firmer, is he? Cool.
Nice.
But good controlling front running rider in front too. Feeling good about that one?
No,
He's all right. That was.
All right, lovely. We haven't done a spree. Race Speed Profiles, only 2 weeks to go before the mid-year break. So we have a special offer, mate.
yeah, it's the last 2 weeks, isn't it? So we're
Yep.
going to do a two for 99.
2 for 99, Sydney and Melbourne. And of course there's still the Brisbane available as well too for the last week of Brisbane. So there's one more week of
Yep.
Brisbane to go. But as far as Sydney and Melbourne, which are the stock standard, there's 2 weeks left. And yeah, so you might as well finish off the season with the $99 offer. And and Race Speed Profiles, and we'll have 3 weeks off, I think it is. And
And
then
a little freshen up. So you
Yeah.
guys are going to put everything you can into the last 2 weeks.
Absolutely,
Finish
as we
off
do all the
hard.
time.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, yep. So Race Speed Profiles, $99 for Sydney for the next 2 weeks, or Melbourne for the next 2 weeks, or the 3-state package in for Brisbane. So away we go. Race Speed Profile up to get through to the end of season, or end of our season anyway. More Than Ready at Vinery over 2,400 metres sees Miss Fon 420, Soviet Courage 440, and Mr. Steel $5.50 for Bajon.
This is good to see Mr. Steele back up. But they did bet $8, and that the punters love a quick backup. $5.50 now. 11 into $9.50. Napoleon has been the only action.
Mark.
Interesting race, Dal. And ridden with urgency on Wednesday, Mr. Steele. He's clearly a one-batting thing that just keeps grinding. He was pulling away from a horse that had clearly headed him at Newcastle. And Brenton took no prisoners on Wednesday. Now...
Oh, you can give yourself a little spruik for Mr. Steele if you like.
Little spree.
Oh, Mr. Steele.
Oh, hang on, well, let's do a double
Mr.
spree.
Steele.
We'll do a double spree. Yeah, you nailed it Wednesday, didn't you?
Mr. Steele, yeah. We had two very good results on Mr. Steele and Forget, or Guy Forget.
Yes.
And backed it up yesterday at Hawkesbury with some good results. I think 7 out of the 8 winners were in the top 2 selections.
That's all.
Very
That's all,
well
you know.
played.
What happened to the other race, mate?
I didn't like the look of a 4-year-old having his one run at Cessnock, but it did have the gun on it, so
Yeah.
that was clearly where I messed up.
All right, but anyway, we'll do the stuff. Your stuff available for tomorrow, which is Rose Hill, and we're Glendifer Kembla? No, Newcastle.
No, Newcastle. Glendifer Kembla Monday.
Oh, okay.
Monday.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
because we.
Canterbury Wednesday, nothing Thursday
Yeah,
because
of
of Garaffa.
Oh, so it's a standalone Thursday.
Standalone Thursday.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good idea.
Maybe better for maybe
Yeah.
have those country cups standalone Wednesdays.
What an idea.
Might work, or standalone Sundays,
Yeah.
something like that.
Standalone Sundays.
Yeah.
Saddle up Sundays.
Saddle up Sundays. There it is.
Yeah,
All right.
so look, coming into this meeting in some form.
Great form.
Be prepared. So look out for Rose Hill tomorrow, Newcastle, and Kembla Monday.
That was called a segue because we're talking about Mr. Steele, which had relevance to Mark said on Wednesday. Mark, you can now talk about Mr. Steele in relevance to race
Yeah,
3.
look, he did win a slightly hollow race on Wednesday in that Kabbalistic had time off and lost Jay McDonald. And who else was in there? The Two Sheik that was retired out of the race at the beginning of the race. So that left King's shitbags from
Officer.
Kembla, King's
Yeah.
Officer, and Kabbalistic with big problems. So Mr. Steele certainly had a race to steal on Wednesday. This has a little more guts to it. Having said that,
How much more?
Yeah, much more guts.
anyway.
Well, I'll tell you who doesn't have much guts to her at the moment is Miss Fon. She's getting thinner and thinner all the time.
But she raced like she won a 2400 last week.
She did, but she also raced like a horse that was on the way out, and she's looking like a horse on the way out.
Well, that's interesting.
They can bounce back, and who knows? But apparently, she's not a great eater, and all this sort of business, and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
On the way that she looked on Saturday, I'd be surprised if she presented well
Little
on
insight.
Saturday.
Little
But
insight.
not, that's not rubber stamp. You could look at her and go, "Wow, she's back to what I was." But she hasn't looked as good as she did when she won. She was perfect when she won, and she's been off since then.
Anyway, Mr. Steele should be in the van. Miss Bond will obviously be on speed. The two of the visitors, 3 of the visitors actually, Alruz, Goldoni, and Space from a Wide Gate will press on. De Meister raced 1 out, 1 back the other day. He was settled in a handy position. Soviet Courage along the rails, and had the other 4 out the back. 5 Soviet Courage won a mediocre race a fortnight back, but importantly he ran through the line, and he's on top here from 8 Mr. Steele, 2 Miss Von, who Joey's trying something he needs to try. He either goes out or he tries this.
Yeah, exactly right.
And 9 Napoleon was a bias assisted win at Newcastle, but it was also a scopy sort of win, if you know what I mean. You know, it's cross purposes there. De Meister, I think, is the other chance in the race. 5829. I'm just betting up here. 6 units Soviet Courage, 4 units Mr. Steele, 3 units Miss Von, 2 units Napoleon, 1.5 units De Meister. That's a lot of action there.
A lot of action there.
Yeah.
It's, from my point of view, it becomes an interesting race if Miss Von parades how I expected, because there's percentage taken out. Because she, if she parades like that, if she parades if she parades the same, she'll race the same.
Yep.
There you go. Probably even worse.
Do you guys have any figures on De Meister? What do you know about
De Meister, I've got to say, when I saw the prices for it, I was shocked to see what price it was. Mark, what price did you know De Meister?
$9.
Did you?
$8.
Expect $8? Yeah, okay, fair enough.
What was it? About 6 or something?
Yeah, I think it's $6 or $7. Yeah.
Well, it's just it's a European that's showing a glimpse of form at his last starts on a 7-day backup. And
yeah.
Does that worry us about the form of that Morris race, or it was just in the right spot?
Maurus is the form. What other form are you suggesting there is? There's Maurus at Warwick Farm, there's Maurus at Rose Hill.
Just the fact that it can start $61 and looks like the winner.
Yeah, and then
at some point
we've just knocked off the zero.
No, look, I won't be betting, but I sort of I like the momentum that Mr. Steele's bringing, and I love it when a horse has had a run so recent that's not even in the form guide. So
yeah, there you go. the Matt Pearl. We've got pearls coming everywhere.
And I know when I was at uni, about the pros used to love that sort of stuff. So it could be well backed. I'm not sure.
Yep.
Dr. Nick is.
Dr. Nick's already
in the van.
Yeah, he's already got the button ready to press.
Okay.
Beautiful. All right, that's race 3. Race 4 is we'll just go on. We had a double sprint then, didn't we? Tab Rewards handicap over 1,500 metres. Oh, actually, before we do, you've got some one to follow.
I do. If you are a subscriber to One to Follow, any of their products, and if you're not, you should grab one this week. Maybe there they are.
There they are.
Track tips, but
there they are. We go win, break even, win.
It's pretty good.
It's all right.
But
Sounds all right to me.
Yeah, it's all right.
If you've got any of their services, racing services, part of your link on the SMS will give you free entry into a tournament on Saturday.
Yep.
And it's a $250 tournament.
Wow.
So
really?
yeah, it was. I think it's $250 prize. So
sorry.
Free crack at it.
Yeah.
And if you haven't tried the tournaments, like how good.
Yeah, as we say, they're going to get bigger and bigger and massive. And if you saw the stuff from old mate who won, I can't remember his name.
Matthew Shoswenko.
Yeah, Matt. Yeah, that's right. Who won the tournament? He was just a regular punter, and he beat Kingsley and he beat Glenn.
Yeah.
Beat
them at their own game.
Yeah, so you can win. And what did he win? About $15,000 over something like that, wasn't it?
I think he won more.
A bit more.
More 20.
Yeah, more 20, was it? Okay, whatever it was, it's a significant amount.
And just all these. For people that use the tournaments, they're winning these little midweeks and stuff to build their bank, so they get the credit to buy.
And building the bank and also building your knowledge on it too. It is a tactical game, and the more you play it, the better you get at it. So it's going to be huge money up during the spring.
Yeah. And
there'll be a bit of a campaign around it too, which will be quite interesting. If we'll hopefully be announcing in the next few weeks. But
cool.
Anyway, jump on aboard with One to Follow. So what is it? You buy any One to Follow product,
any of their racing products,
any of the racing products, and that includes any of our stuff as well too. Punter Show.
I would encourage you to use the Punter Show stuff. Part of your SMS will have a little link to the free tournament entry.
Beautiful. Well, use that. Jump in, have a go. It's it's not the most staggeringly exciting racing at this time of year.
So the Caulfield meeting as well. Caulfield.
It's on Caulfield. Well, that is a good meeting.
Yeah, it's a great meeting.
All right. So it's the right time of year to start playing and put some excitement into it. Anyway, race 4 is the Tab Rewards handicap over 1,500 metres. Jukio is $5. Final decision is $5. What am I saying? Allegria $4.60 in favourite. $9 El Lou and Land Grant. Did John Ricky say anything about Allegria in his 12-month epistle?
What's the story here? I don't doubt that it can improve, but why is it?
It's still a wet track, isn't it? Why is it 460? Is that what you're saying?
Huge Bowman.
I suppose Hugh, blinkers on, ability.
Questionable, yeah.
Look, it's got a chance, but it just seems about half.
For a horse that is
half the price it should be.
A horse that is legless in the wet, that's the overriding factor, isn't it?
And the tab bet $15 Careless, that's into $9.50. Also $15 was given Land Grant, $8.50.
Done.
And 51 into 31 California Man.
Should have been fined for grand larceny there at Newcastle, for loitering anyway. It was that's one of the slowest races they've ever put down.
And bias assisted too? Was it the rail day?
No, it wasn't the rail day, but it certainly just got away with just something ridiculous, with something riding shotgun on its outside and two horses that are legless trying to. Anyway, look, it's lightly raced and it's doing nice. It's showing ability. It just got away with murder the other day. Look, in the van is Disgraceful for B Shin, but he may take a trail tomorrow. Careless and Land Grant will want to get across. Duccio and Abenaki will be poking through early to make them work a little. And then I had the midfielders, Cisco Kid, Californian Man maybe going further back than that. El Lou poking up underneath them. Final Decision Rails mid-back. Double Happy mid-back. Kipling probably midfield. And Lucy's Luck and Allegria are out the back. Lucy's Look playing the part of Very Delicious tomorrow. With Allegria on her inside.
Okay.
14 Lucy's Look. She's on a 10-day backup. She gets T Huey, which I like, and she went in a fast race. Just have a look at the difference in times between the fillies on that day and the race that Mara Nostro beat Careless, and there's a gulf. They're different races. Anyway, Lucy's Look was in the wrong part of the track and couldn't do anything. She returns to Rose Hill here, and I've put her on top of 4 Final Decision, who gets a negative alley change here. It's outside in is always a problem, but I mean he's obviously got a last up winner of this track. 7 Disgraceful, I thought was a good enough run at Randwick, and will be one of the horses in the finish here, especially for B Shin. And 6 Allegria. Took the sword to Careless, took the sword to Duccio. Cisco Kid I've taken 50s about. It seemed a price that was too long. And that will do. 14,476, 2 units on number 14.
Matt.
Yes.
Yeah, Disgraceful I sort of liked. I was just listening to how the track might play, just sort of up on speed, and handled the Randwick wet really well.
Well, I think Shin and Bowman. I think we can forgive Huey for last week, just having the child and all that sort of.
Oh, that's what happened.
Oh, there was a week and a half old, so probably, and in fact he's been in Brisbane, so I'd say Huey will be back. It was a
tune-up.
Yeah, so
Huey and Blake will be golden tomorrow.
Yeah, and I love
B Shin was all right on Wednesday.
Yeah, and I love the way sort of Disgraceful sort of travelled up as well around the turn, and that suits Blake very well.
Yeah.
So 3 each way. I think he'll be in the finish. I did like the way El Lou finished off, but I thought that may have been bias assisted with Very Delicious. So you don't want to back horses that were flattered by that. I'm just going to have a unit on Kipling as well, who I think can posse up a bit closer, and I thought actually ran through the line okay, even though well beaten. And
which one was it though?
Juffin or Kipling? Yeah.
Like honestly,
they were different colours too.
The one's the checkerboard and one's the thoroughbred.
So this way, I had the chance to listen on the wireless on Wednesday.
Yes.
I think I listened to the last 2 races, and they were not flattering for Darren again. There's just a lot of struggling early doors there. And, it's awkward to criticise someone when you don't do yourself.
Yes.
But There's something's
And
something's
we've never criticised anyone on these programs.
And Dallas's pin-up horse final, or the RSP pin-up horse final decision. Sure, I think they're going to angle off the track. So barrier 2 is actually not too bad.
It's probably the spot.
And
Cuts up underneath.
there's not a bad tempo again, and it's going well. But look, I can't have them all, so I'm just backing 7 and 10.
Lovely. Yeah, Allegria does make it a little bit interesting, doesn't it? I think it's
Yeah,
the dry track you'd be just moraling up, but it's like I found a lot with this.
Is that the answer? Like, of course, she's been all powerful twice first up.
Yeah, I could well be.
Maybe it's fresh.
Could well be, but I just think the way that if you have a look at the way that she raced and she just was so unhappy in the ground herself. And and all the wet track indicators we've got just says that she's just legless in it, and type wise legless as well too. So
But this track is
it's better for her. Absolutely, it's slightly better. If it was 2 notches better, you'd be going okay, that's all right. But yeah, I found all through this meeting there's pushes and pulls, and I've struggled to actually find anything of much interest because of that. Just when you think you got one of them, there's something pulling it back, and that's too great a force. And the alternatives, I don't know if they're there. Anyway, well, something's going to win the race, obviously, but no. All right, everyone happy?
Yeah, part 1.
Part 1.